Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're talking about gas. I said in the intro we're talking about gas. No, not the gas you've put in your car or the gas you get from the human experience. I'm talking about gear acquisition syndrome. Let's face it, throughout our careers, we've all had it at least once, if not more than we care to admit. I've had it numerous times throughout the past 18 years. Unfortunately, it will never go away. You can curtail it. You can sit on it, do whatever you want to do. But with the influx of all the videos on YouTube, it's inevitable. You just have to learn how to control it. I myself included. Now, the reason why I'm making this today is because I actually have a little bit of gas right now, because there's some things that I actually do need for my cinema camera. That's not a want, it's an actual need. And that's where I'm going to kind of split this off real quick. You have to decide, do you want it or do you need it? A want is fueled by watching YouTube, as I do, and seeing all these reviews of this gear saying it does this, saying it does that, saying that it makes your life, prime example, lenses. Oh, these lenses make your life like a movie. These are just, titles to get you interested. And that's what we do on YouTube, is we try to do our best to create a title for you that you will click on and watch and help us build our channels. That's what it's all about. But back to it. Some lenses in particular, they can. Just the characteristics of the lenses and how you grade them, how you use them, the ease of use, they can make your life, when it comes to filming, easier, or in photography, easier, because that old adage, do as much in camera as you can with some lenses where it's at. Because like I said, if you can create it in camera, create it in camera. That way it saves you in post. You want that dreamy look, or you want that dreamy bokeh or that dreamy softness look. There's lenses out there for that. I'm at the point right now where I'm not doing too much looking at cameras, because as of right now, I really do have all the cameras I need. Let's face it, camera bodies are not exactly cheap nowadays, nor are lenses, depending on what you're looking at, especially if you're looking at the heavily influenced and heavily used market on vintage lenses. They get expensive real quick, depending on brand, mount, and how popular they are at the time. So with that being said, like I said, I have a little bit of gas right now. I'm actually looking at lenses for my cinema camera, so therefore I'm looking specifically at cinema lenses. I don't want to use autofocus lenses on a cinema camera unless I absolutely have to. So right now I'm using, when I use my cinema camera, I'm using a 35mm anamorphic and vintage manual focus lenses 90% of the time. For now, I'm keeping my eye out. I'm looking at companies. I'm doing in-depth reviews or in-depth researches or searches into what lenses. Now, sadly, some of these rental houses like Lens Rentals and everybody else, they don't have them to rent, so you're stuck with having to buy them. So you could be out, thousands of dollars, and you may not like the lenses, and then you might be stuck with them, or you might be able to sell them, but you're not going to be able to get what you want for them, or what you paid for them, actually. You got to be careful when it comes to gas, because sometimes you're stuck with what you buy, or you're selling it and you're losing money, which that's happened to me on numerous occasions. But for what it's worth, gas is not a bad thing when it comes to the want or the need. It just comes down to, do you want to invest the money? Can you invest the money? And is it an investment that you can make back down the road, either in one session or anywhere between 2, 3, 4 sessions. That's just something you've got to weigh out and look at. So now back, one more thing I forgot to mention is the rental of this equipment. Yes, some people have them, some people don't, but if you watch the videos on YouTube, a lot of people get sent these lenses and or camera bodies to try out. But 9 times out of 10, for somebody like me, they may not send them out because I'm a small channel, an extremely small channel. What I do is I create these videos for you, the watcher, from somebody like myself who actually does this out of the good and does real world uses and isn't an influencer at all. I do this because I think I add value to actually taking it out, creating the videos and shooting or photographing the scenes at hand, rather than sitting here telling you how great this equipment is, which I will do anyway. But if I've either bought and paid for them on my own, or I've rented them, or even if a company's sent them to me, I will still do an honest review and physically take them out and do a solid review, real world test on them. That way you'll know from someone who's not an influencer, who is like the majority, or like you watching this, you don't have a lot of money to spend, so you count your dollars, make sure you spend wisely, and I try to give you the best bang for your buck and my buck. That's what this comes down to. That's why I'm making this video. I would rather be known for giving honest and complete reviews for when gas hits, because it gets expensive real quick. I've got a $2,000 cinema camera sitting behind this camera right now. I mean, this was a $2,500. This rig was a $2,500 body and another $1,500 in the lens. So, this stuff adds up quickly, but if you do this for a living, it adds up. In the end, do not let it control you. You control it, because you may not have the money to go out and get what you need. Don't take out loans. Don't put it on the credit card, because all that's going to do is it's delayed. Well, I'll call it delayed gratification, because you're buying it now, but then you're paying for it down the road. And what happens if it takes you years to pay it off? You don't own it. You're still paying for it. So right now, I've got lenses that, like I said, I'm doing my research for lenses right now, and I'm saving up enough money that way. Instead of buying 1 or 2, it may take me a while to save up, because it's just, I've got other things that I have to pay for just like everybody else. It takes a while. But instead of buying 1 or 2 at a time, I'm just going to buy a complete kit and build the kit the way I want. Only downside is with me doing real estate, I have my preferences, and for my photo and my video, I really like a 12 to 14 millimeter lens for photo and video. Sadly, not every cinema lens or photo lens you can get in a 12 to 14 millimeter without paying a premium price, or the company just doesn't make it. Therefore, gas kicks in again, because you're having to look for, if you really like brand A but they don't make what you need, you're still going to buy brand A because it fits 85% of everything you need, and then you're going to have to go with brand B for that last 15 to get what you really need. So then it comes down to, which one do you buy? Are you robbing Peter to pay Paul, whatever biblical term you want to use, or whatever saying you want to use. All I'm saying is when it comes to gas, do your research, do your due diligence, and make sure that it's something you actually need, not want. With all this being said, that's about all I have right now. You know, I'm not going to get on, I'm not going to beat my drum or anything like that. I do these videos for you, the individual watching this, like I'm an individual watching your content. So it's a trade system is what this is. You give me information, I give you information. But now I leave your choices for gas in your hands. I'm not going to tell you you need to go out and buy something. On anything I ever review, I'll give you my honest opinion review of what I think about it. Now, if it's a good product, sure, I'm going to support it. I'll tell you my thoughts on it. I can't tell you whether you need anything you buy because it's all personal preference. In the end, it's your money, it's your dollars, and if you want to spend it, spend it. I'm just here to give you a honest feeling about gas. So, in the end, spend your money wisely. Other than that, everybody, y'all have a great week ahead, and I'll see y'all in the next one.